Well, welcome to the show. Today we are going to do a arugula, tomato, and black olive salad, followed by turkey tenderloin with a dried cherry whiskey sauce, which is kind of an interesting combination. Follow that up with a roasted butternut squash. Okay. And for dessert, I think we're going to do some chocolate-covered apricots with chopped pistachios.
I'm Nancy Carlisle, dietitian.
And I'm Chef Ron, and welcome to A Taste of Mercy. I have a couple turkey tenderloins here. There's about 1.5 pounds total between the two pieces. And we're just going to do a little light salt and pepper.
And I'm glad that you're just using a little bit of salt on this turkey. I really want people to watch for turkey in the store that is fresh and it hasn't had any of the salt solutions added to it. That enables them to keep the meal very low sodium for themselves. And pepper always just brings out lots of nice flavors. Turkey's a very fun meat to work with. It's quick cooking.
Very lean. I have a skillet over here heating up. I have 2 teaspoons of olive oil, and we're going to pan fry the turkey tenderloins, brown them up.
We brown them to just give seal that moisture in of the turkey so it keeps it moist throughout the cooking.
Helps with moisture, or keep its moisture in. It gives you a nice brown color to it. First we're going to brown it for a while. Then we're going to put it in the oven, finish it in the oven, skillet and all. Take it out when it's done. And then all these little crumbs and stuff in there, we're going to make a sauce in the same skillet. So we're just using the one pan for the entire entree there. Nancy, I think this is nice and brown now. We'll turn these over, and I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven. We don't need to stand here and brown the bottom side. That's going to brown while it's in the oven. So we'll let it finish off in the oven.
Yeah, turkey is such a nice, easy meat to work with, and it's a great source of selenium, Ron. Selenium, it's one of our new minerals that we're just learning it has nutrition benefits to it. Selenium is actually a very powerful antioxidant, and it helps with the immune system also. Some other food sources of selenium are hazelnuts and filberts, and also our Brazil nuts.
Wow. So we got that too going for us. All right, here we go. 450-degree oven, probably 20 minutes or so. We'll come back, check that later on, and be sure it's up to temp. And in the meantime, I think we'll go ahead and do a salad.
Make a salad?
Okay.
Sounds great.
Right. Nancy, next we're going to do a tomato and olive salad. This is going to be another real quick salad. There's 5 or 6 ingredients. Shouldn't take much to put together, and you could do this, right after you come home, or you could even light it up the night before as well. We're going to do the fresh tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, which don't have as much of the water content to them. I'm going to cut up 4 of those.
The nice thing about making this fresh is going to be a lower sodium salad because we're not adding anything other than the olives for salt. So many commercial dressings have a very high sodium content, and this one is going to have the balsamic vinegar and the olive oil for the flavor over a bed of greens.
So we're just going to dice these up.
Tomatoes add such nice color to salads. They also are a great source of vitamin C, and with the enhancement of the vinegar, it's going to actually help to uptake the vitamin C content.
A little red onion. We're going to do a little thin slice on this, about 1/3 cup.
And when you add something like this fresh to the salad, again, it just brings out more flavors to it and gives more texture to the vegetables.
And then our third ingredient, we have some black olives pitted, and I'm going to cut those in half. And you can see already it's got a nice color to the salad. It's just bright reds and purples, and then a black to set it off.
Okay. If somebody was watching their sodium intakes extremely, they would maybe put a few less olives into the salad, or even rinse the olives in front of putting them into the salad to reduce the sodium content.
Okay, a little olive oil. I believe there's
2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons. Well, we're going to go here. And balsamic vinegar, I think that's a tablespoon of that.
That's right, Ron, it is a tablespoon. The olive oil adds a monounsaturated fat, and we actually need a little bit fat with our vegetables in order to help take up the vitamins and enable the body to absorb them, the vitamins with it. So fat-free salad dressings actually are not one of our best choices to get the vitamins from the salads that we're eating.
Things aren't always what they seem. I'm taking a bowl here. I'm going to add some arugula to this. You could use spinach also.
Arugula is just a fine leaf, kind of looks like oak leaves. Great source of vitamin A.
I think the arugula has just maybe a little bit more peppery taste to it than the spinach would. We're just going to add this together and mix it up. We get all that juice off the bottom.
Now, if I wanted to do this so that I served it to somebody and I had just a few moments to do it, could I wait to put the tomatoes over it and just serve it at the end?
Yeah, I mean, you could have the tomato
part all
ready,
mixed up.
your greens ready, and just like we're doing at the very last moment, just stir it together.
Yeah, I don't like limp lettuce.
No. And serve it in a bowl.
Oh, look at all those pretty colors
nice
coming
color
out.
There. Get a little of that tomatoes off the bottom of the bowl. Again, it's another quick meal. You know, salad only takes but a few minutes to put together. I think 6 ingredients and very low in fat.
Yes, it is.
So a tomato olive salad. Nancy, we're going to do a roasted butternut squash next. That's squash is one of my favorites. For this
enjoy squash here, also.
We're going to take the end off. The butternut squash is the neck, the long part is pretty much all solid flesh. There's a small hollow spot in the middle with the seed, and we're going to take that out and cut it in 4 pieces.
Now, I always find that it's a really hard squash sometimes.
Very firm. You can take and peel this also, and pan fry it. Keep it up and boil it off. There's a lot you can do with it. We're going to take these seeds out.
Using a spoon's a great way of taking the seeds out. That firm flesh just scoops right out there.
If you have a small melon baller for like ice cream, that kind of thing, that works out well also. Nice.
Look at that bright orange color.
Bright.
You know, that's a great source of vitamin A. Whenever you see something as brilliant colors, bright green, bright red, bright orange, those are hiding carotenes, which are just some of our colors that we usually see in the fall.
Actually, the butternut squash is referred to as a winter squash. But it's really not. The seasons over the years have changed a lot, and what's available to you is
I think
different now.
that you could still eat it in the winter because it was a storable squash versus zucchini and our yellow squashes that have such high water content that they spoil quickly.
Now we're just going to put a couple pieces in here. You could do all 4 of them in a larger container if you want.
It's just you and me.
It's just you and me. All right. A little cinnamon over the top, and I'm going to just kind of divide this in half because we're only doing the 2.
So many people put so much sugar on top of squash. If we use something sweet like the cinnamon, that's really going to enhance and bring out the sweetness of this squash naturally.
I have some orange juice. I'm doing 1/4 cup of orange juice. And we do 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Now on this here, don't do the, Aunt Jemima pancake syrup. You want the real
thing
stuff for this here.
For the maple flavor.
It doesn't have the highest dollar one you can get, but it should be a maple syrup. We're just going to mix that up a little bit, pour it on there.
And make a nice little glaze for later.
Now again, I'm only going to put half this on because we're saving some for the other two. Then some foil over the top.
Well, that is a fast and easy dish to make, isn't it?
Yeah, this doesn't take much at all,
Again, have that ready when you were ready, make it up the night before, put it in the oven when you come home.
Exactly, and this even, if you just do it now, you don't even have to, the slow part of this is it's going to take about 45 minutes or a little better in the oven. We're having our oven preheated at a 400 degrees, and we'll leave it in there covered for about 45, 50 minutes. We'll check it.
Yeah. Easy dish.
All right, I'm going to check the turkey tenderloin now. That should be about ready. Looks nice and brown. I want to take the temperature on that to be sure we're good to go here. I'm taking the temperature on the bigger of the two, right in the center where it's the thickest. We want to go for about 165. And we're still climbing, and we're going to do the 165, so it's going to be fine. Whenever you do that, be sure when you use that thermometer to take and wash that off so that you don't put it back in there and cross-contaminate the next thing that you're working with. Keep in mind the skillet's still hot. I'm going to put the turkey over here on a plate to rest a little bit. Cover that with a little bit of foil. This will give that turkey a chance to rest for a few minutes also so that it doesn't lose its juices when we cut it open. Next, I'm going to start the skillet back up again. And another teaspoon of olive oil goes into this. We're going to make the sauce here in the skillet to go with the turkey. It's a cherry whiskey sauce. I need 1/2 cup of onions. We'll give that 4 or 5 minutes to saute. I add a couple teaspoons of garlic. A little bit of whiskey. It calls for 1/4 cup of whiskey in this here. I have a cup of cherries, pitted, chopped. A little dry mustard. Yeah, that's some fresh thyme. You could use the leaf thyme, the dried also. I'm putting a little of the fresh in here. It just needs a couple teaspoons. I'm putting the sprigs in. Some cranberry juice. The recipe calls for a cup, but it calls for it to be divided. So we're putting 3/4 of a cup in. And then we'll keep the other 1/4 of a cup to mix with the cornstarch to thicken this up a little later on. Just a pinch of salt. let that heat up and reduce a little bit, then add the cornstarch with the cranberry sauce. All right, the sauce is starting to bubble pretty well here. I have the cornstarch and the 1/4 of a cup of the cranberry sauce. I'm going to mix that together. We'll want to mix that cornstarch in real well, because if we don't, it's just going to be little white lumps that are going to be floating around in that sauce. Using the cornstarch, you mix it up. Always be sure you're doing it with cold water, not the hot water. We'll add this in. When you cook it with the cornstarch, you put it in most of your sauces, it's going to be kind of a milky, cloudy color to it. And as that thickens up, it's going to become a nice, shiny, clear look to it, and it'll just kind of seize up all at once. Okay, I think we're good to go on this. We'll take and put the sauce over here on the stove, or on the counter. Our tenderloin has had a little time to rest. I'm going to add a little of the sauce over the tenderloin. Well, I roasted some of the butternut squash earlier today in another pan, and I want to try that out. So we're just going to put that right on the same plate with the turkey. I think it's going to be a great combination. Maybe we'll get a little of those pan juices on there. So roasted butternut squash, turkey tenderloin with a whiskey cherry sauce. Great combination, both pretty easy to fix. Minimal amount of time to prep. Takes a little bit of oven time, but well worth the effort. Nancy, I want to finish the meal off today with chocolate dipped apricots with pistachio nuts. I saw this recipe, it just sounded like it was kind of interesting, and we'll try it out. I have a cup of water boiling. I add 1/3 of a cup of sugar. We'll get that.
Is this to add some moistness to the apricots?
Well, it's that. Now this will take and it will also plump them up. It'll sweeten them up, give more flavor. There's a stick of cinnamon, and we put a little bit of the lemon peel on the outside there, just to give a little bit more flavor also.
Chocolate and apricot sounds like a great combination. Yeah. I always like a little sweet treat at the end of a meal.
Well, apricots by themselves, the dried ones are sweet anyway, but this will be even more so, but I think we're low in fat. I have the dried apricots, and they're a little chewy this way, but we're gonna soften them up. Add those. I have 2 dozen of those. And we need to let those go for 6-7 minutes. Plump those up.
Okay. Apricots are one of our fruits that's a stone fruit, and they're a great source of vitamin A, and they're a soluble source of fiber. So that means that there'll be that sticky kind of fiber that helps to lower cholesterol.
Nancy, over here I have a double boiler here, a little water in the bottom, just barely simmering, and I have a couple ounces of bittersweet chocolate.
Bittersweet chocolate's higher in the antioxidants. It does have a stronger taste though to it, so I bet with this apricots it'll be nice and sweet.
Yeah, and it's going to have that rich taste to it, and the pistachio nuts on there is just going to kind of set it off. And we're about ready here. I think we're going to go ahead and shut this off and drain these as well.
Okay.
Let these drain real well, get nice and dry for when we dip the chocolate, so the chocolate will stick to it.
I can smell the chocolate.
Nancy, the chocolate is melted. I will go ahead and dip those. We're just going to dip half of the apricot in there, and then I'll put them on a rack, and you can sprinkle a little pistachio on it. How's that sound? And this doesn't take a whole lot.
You know, I see this done at Christmas a lot. It's always one of those nice little treats.
Well, you know, it's not like dipping cookies, but it's going to be.
Pistachios are a green nut, and they're a good source of omega-3 fats, which is a treat. One of those omega-3s helps us with the keeping our platelets from being sticky, and is supposed to help with our brain too. I'd want more chocolate on there, Ron.
You know, let's put half.
I think I could go the whole thing.
Those couple pieces of chocolate don't seem like a whole lot, but it's just more than enough to do that with.
Did you just chop this with a knife, or did you?
Yeah, I just rough chop it with a knife.
Do they come crushed?
Yeah, I don't know if they do.
Okay. I like cracking them.
Yeah. Okay, so we just let that chocolate set up for a little bit, and a serving would be probably 4 or 5.
Oh, the whole bag. That's attractive as a nice little, then you're kind of anticipating that the rest of the meal, if that was sitting in front of me.
So Nancy, all you have to do is you prep this ahead, chill it down, put it on a plate, and you're ready to go. There you have it. It's just that quick.